You're listening to Party Nerds Weekly.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome, everybody, once again to the Party Nerds Podcast. We got some things to get off our chest because Loki's now beyond us. It was the first Thursday or Friday without Loki, and God, man, I tell you, it was a piece of my heart that was already ripped out.
Oh,
but here we bring you, here we bring you anew because we've talked about it briefly on the podcast, but we are going to get into Invincible as we promised. So, I mean, I know Jorge has had the ability to watch season 1 in full term, and Ralphie, you are fully caught up, so he's the only person that can talk to you right now. But all in all, I mean, we have to understand that when this was basically brought to us, thank God for Seth Rogen, because he's the executive producer for The Boys. He's the executive producer for Invincible, and he also actually plays a pivotal character in this series in Invincible as Alan the Alien, and we'll get to him later on. But as far as just a recap, watching season 1, Jorge, because you caught up. How did you feel about season 1 when you watched it?
The what?
How did you feel about season 1 of Invincible when you watched it?
I mean, look, when I first started watching it, I thought it was just a superhero movie. But then as I started watching, they're mocking the current superheroes that we see in movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I guess Omni-Man, Superman, right? And then the Teen Titans, who are the teen, what are they called?
Guardians of the Globe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's just,
Yeah.
And then what you call it, and then once you start watching it, and I had no idea it was going to be this gory, right? Which is good.
Right. The first episode.
Yeah, exactly. And then I see Omni-Man just fucking shit up and killing innocent bystanders and shit. And so I was like, holy crap, I am glued. And now I can't wait for season 2. God damn it.
All right, yeah, I'm glad you're there. Now, Ralph, as somebody who's been catching up with the series, right now, I believe we're on episode 3. So far after that first season, it's going to take a while because as with Invincible, there's like almost singular issues. You almost come to realize that each episode is like 2 issues in the book because they'll instantly do credits and it almost like it starts back up another storyline right after.
Yep.
How'd you feel about that?
Mm-hmm. So that one kind of caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie because
you're thinking it's over. You shut it off,
and I thought it was over. I was like, "Wait, hold up! I could have sworn it said 49 minutes. What happened here? Let's. Oh, it's in the middle. Gotcha. All right, let's continue this. But let's just go ahead and just talk about like season 2 being kind of similar to, I guess, how Loki is a little bit of a slow burn, right? The first season, obviously, you kind of got an understanding of, oh, we are in the mix. Amazon's got something. We out here just ripping heads, and you're just like, God damn. But now you can tell like the transition of the energy is, all right, we're gonna give you that little slow burn. We're gonna build up into it. And then for those that didn't watch episode 3, it's about to get real again. So I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying it.
So to recap, and what's up, Albert? Welcome to the chat. To recap and get into it. If we're diving off the events of season 1, of course, we come to find out that because of the adolescent power set that Mark Grayson now has, and it was more so built on the fact that his father, Omni-Man, being a Viltrimite, that essentially his whole being, his visibility on Earth was the fact that this whole planet was fostered to him, and that the Viltrimites as a whole sector are basically conquerors at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So literally, it wasn't the fact of like Omni-Man breeding an entire planet. He just needed to have a child, have one Viltrimite, have its power set, take over that planet, and basically kind of like hold it up as a trophy for the Viltrimites to carry on. Of course, Mark is a little bit different. He's half human. He's a little bit more compassionate, being raised by his mother. You know, like he has a bunch of friends who really care about him. Well, that's the thing. Why did Invincible get his power so late? He gets it through adolescence, unlike a lot of other counterparts. It's kind of like, well, and note, you'll see a lot of parodies to other comic books. That being something like mutants in X-Men. You know, mutants don't get their powers until adolescence, generally until like puberty. So like they don't go full scale. They might see like a glimmer of it, but they're not seeing like the full scale of things. So that's why like
Or he's
Mark,
just going through puberty.
yeah,
He's
you just
going a little bit of puberty.
throwing trash
Little
cans
late
into
bloomer.
space, you know,
Yeah.
just throwing skyscrapers into space and punching holes in walls. Yeah, that's puberty.
Wait, did that trash bag hit somebody?
Probably. It's probably
That's all blood coming out of that.
more than likely.
Uh,
But I enjoy the fact that you get these like little like things that and everybody that watched the first season used to clown Mark Grayson because he was getting his ass whooped so much. Which is, but the thing is, how many heroes in comic books have we seen get their ass whooped? A lot. Like Spider-Man, if he faces the Sinister Six, he gets mollywopped a lot.
Mollywopped. That was the molly.
You know, like straight up. Was this one reason why Invincible has that following, that controversial storyline from the comic? Oh wait, whoa.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Okay.
Come on now.
I'm not gonna go there. No.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
What? Let me say your name, Thenora Ravindra. Now, I will say this: that is a typical issue that I am going to say that when it does happen on screen, we might get Invincible canceled.
Are you serious?
Yeah. In this current day and age,
yeah.
In this current day and age, that particular issue that they're talking about, I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna be like, okay, now I got to see what the masses say.
Oh, I did hear about this.
Not to deep dive too much into it.
I don't say it.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay.
But
essentially into it, but
they're not gonna air that one.
They are absolutely gonna air that shit. Yes, they are.
I heard they're doing everything like right from the comic.
Yeah, they are. They're following it verbatim so far. So like literally when we get to if we remember season finale, season 1, Omni-Man, Mark finally come to blows to the point where Mark is beaten to a pulp, but he still has this ultimate love for his father, Omni-Man, who can't live with himself anymore because he's about to kill his child, and then flies away. That is the alert that pretty much starts this entire series. You know, Omni-Man leaving Earth, a Viltrimite leaving his post, was pretty much the ascension of how this story was going to start to get constructed. So the Viltrimites, if you remember from like their narrations and their talking points, they talked about the fact that if you want to have a parody of them, no, charge for that episode like a pay-per-view, they could. They absolutely could.
That's smart. We're trademarking it right now. We're trademarking it.
Don't give Bezos no fucking suggestions, please.
More money. Don't give him more money.
No. But the biggest thing is like a Viltrumite leaving his post is starting to spark throughout the universe. The Viltrumite War was the great purge that pretty much happened to where they literally went to war with themselves to get out the weaker faction of their entire race. So think of them as Kryptonians, but when they take over a planet, they enslave you. They are the superior race, and anybody that they'll use you for your resources. If you try to overthrow them, more than likely you'll die.
Like Saiyans.
If Vegeta had the opportunity, if there was no Goku possible, if there was no Goku in the picture, Vegeta and the Saiyans would be that. Yes. Wow. Okay. Just checking on you. Glad that you have that. But there's distinct conversations, one between Mark and Alan the alien in season 1, in where he basically reveals to him that he is half Viltrumite, and he he's confused by the fact we're like, you're a Viltrumite and you're not like trying to fucking assassinate me. Like, what's the deal? What's up with you?
Yeah.
You know, like, but the thing is, he also tells him that like Alan the alien is a guardian over singular planets. He's like a planetary evaluation consultant, but he's been like guarding the wrong planet for the entire time, which is perfectly up Seth Rogen's alley. He looked like probably like he smoked a lot of weed and he just was basically taking harvest over the wrong planet for this period of time. So that's probably on him. But initially, when we get to the first episode of season 2, which was the multiversal war, where you see what was it, what's his name, Randall from This Is Us's character, Ansel Mount, that which was pretty cool. I talked about him as kind of like a multiversal Kang character that took all the versions of himself and molded it into his brain, so he now has all their collective thoughts and all their memories. You know, now you have Mark that's going to college, and then pretty much we descend from him going to college into Alan's story. And Alan's story is very pivotal. Now, Ralphie, did you catch the fact that when Alan was his creation himself, like his origin story, what did you think about that? Because like I guess they were getting annihilated by Viltrimites for so long, and then that's how Alan is created.
So essentially, you know, it was nice to get a background story and obviously see, you know, I guess his evolution to boom, then all of a sudden he's created. But then, you know, obviously they had the intention of him to fight the Viltrumites and stuff like that, which didn't work out well. But then
no, neither time.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get to that.
I was gonna say I was gonna get there, but I mean, it was interesting, you know what I'm saying? It was just interesting to see the segue and to see, I guess, how like again how smart that whole species was to then try, you know, their efforts. But like I said, it's a Seth Rogen character where I'm like, oh yeah, it went this way.
And Alan the alien comes from a planet called Europa. And pretty much when their planet got conquered by the Viltrumites, what they did was they started to do breeding enhancements on certain sectors of their newborns, one being Alan. Alan ended up being the only prototype that actually made it through to be like the strongest of his race.
Wow.
But the thing is with him, they said even he couldn't be as strong enough as the Viltrumites to stop him. You see in one scene in that origin story where he's like he's getting close. You know, like he's not even there. He's still getting his ass whooped. And literally at the end of this episode, he is getting his ass whooped again. To where
it was a lot of effort.
Yeah. He's working for the Coalition of Planets, and he's warning them that, you know, a Viltrumite has left his post, and there is another Viltrumite on Earth that is not like the other ones. That he's actually a protector, and he actually might be cool with us if everything comes around. Now, if you take note, there's almost like a person in the Coalition of Planets that looks like Battle Beast from the first season, and that's gonna be dope going forward. But the initial leader that you see there at the Coalition of Planets, his name is Thetis, and you're gonna see something very specific about him going forward, because at the end of this episode, no, go ahead. Oh, by the way,
I was gonna just point.
He's voiced by Peter. Yes,
that's the. That's what I wanted to be in. And I don't know, you know, you haven't gotten up to here. When you do, you'll understand. I could not get the picture of Optimus Prime out of my head the entire time.
This is voiced by Peter Cullen. Yes,
it was amazing, but all I saw was Optimus.
Yeah, and Robert Kirkman said he tried not to fan out because he specifically got Peter Cullen to play Thetis, and he was like, I've literally like listened to this man's voice since I was 7 years old, so it's actually a surreal moment. But the thing is, Thetis has another important line in this story. But back to this, because note, every episode is 2 issues of basically almost like a book. So side A is this Alan the alien origin story, to where he finds out through Thetis that there might be a mole in the coalition of planets, and it's a mole to the Viltrimites. Yo, what's up, Eddie?
Eddie, what's going on, man?
Eddie.
Yes. So you're looking at it from the context that pretty much, if there's a mole in the coalition of planets that's working for the Viltrimites, there's going to be no way of getting this across. And Alan's just thinking of it like, yeah, I'll look into it, not knowing that the Viltrimites are pretty much on their way. And he comes into a confrontation with 3 Viltrimites. Way too much for him.
Yes.
and gets annihilated. And you know, if you've seen how Omni-Man fights, you know, like it's pretty much like it's the most gruesome battle that you've seen. Like the way that they destroy people.
It's 3 of them.
You mean mollywops?
Mollywops.
Oh.
Yes. So one distinctive character that meets him there is a character, a Viltrumite by the name of Thula. Thula has like a armored scorpion point at the end of her long ass ponytail and everything. You're going to see her a little bit later in those issues, but they proceed to rip Alan a fucking part. They beat him with his own arm.
Oh,
it was one of those throw in the damn towel moments. Throw in the towel.
Like, definitely Ivan Drago, Apollo Creed type shit. Like, Jesus Christ, he's dying out there, y'all. Like, help him, please. Somebody go get him. Get a ship. Something. So they proceed to rip his arm off, pull his one eyeball out of its socket, punch through Alan's chest. They break his back. They break his legs. He's basically mush after this.
He's basically a Mortal Kombat at the end. He's
a fatality. Yes. Very close to that.
Ralph.
But this is the thing. But this is the thing with Alan. He survives this shit.
Of course he does.
That's what's really wild about it.
Of course.
He's literally on life support. like
he got no up.
Your intestines is in the middle of space and you're alive? Which is beyond crazy. But
throughout the whole entire thing too, did you see that? He's smiling and he's like,
he's catching all these blows and he's getting ripped apart. But the biggest thing that for me, I was more intrigued by the characters around the world of Invincible. Anyone heard? Wow, are you comparing them to Shadowhawk? Because that's actually a pretty distinct character. Well, this is the thing, you can, because he's a parody of a lot of comic book characters. So when you're thinking of like certain characters that are comparable to Invincible, it's kind of in that realm. But back to this, with Alan now on life support, you know, you have Thetis that comes over to his girl that was pretty much watching over the body and everything like that. Thetis is now you're almost thinking to yourself like, why is Thetis is like comforting her and everything like that, and he turns the life support off and says, "I'm sorry." But the thing is, I'll tell you guys something from the comics about Alan is that he comes into a lot of near-death experiences by the hands of Viltrimites, but every single time he comes back stronger. Every time he's rebuilt, he gets that much stronger. And then he almost gets to the level to where he's just as strong as a Viltrumite. So he'll have episodes like this to where he might have a couple more of these to where he like damn near is like on his deathbed, mutilated, ripped beyond the seams. And then Alan comes back as somebody that much greater. I can tell you, I already know about that portion of Alan, and I also know about Thetis. And there's a distinct distinction about Thetis that a lot of people aren't getting because of the I guess you're looking at him as a character that's kind of like an elder and everything like that, but he knows a lot. He talked to Alan about the Great Purge and everything like that. He like a Viltrumite that was fighting a Viltrumite hasn't happened since then. So you're looking at that from that context. and then the scene cuts to credits, and then we get into the second issue of the episode, and the episode is basically revolving around the fact that his mom, Debbie, is god damn, she's gone through way too fucking much. She's been called a pet. She's thought she had a man that loved her. Her son just went to college. She's an empty nest lady right now. She can't fix shit in her house. Now
She gonna cheat.
I mean, shit. What is that to cheat on at this moment? So she ends up in a support group for spouses of superheroes, which is like almost like a calling card to I guess if there was ever a storyline around certain characters' spouses all having like a little therapy session. So what she doesn't even realize is that she's having this conversation with all of them, and she ends up having like a couple drinks with I think a certain dude and everything like that. But they don't know that that's Omni-Man's wife, and that basically everybody in that support session is the former members of the Guardians of the Globe that all got fucking murked by Omni-Man in episode 1. So I feel for her, man.
Yeah. Now the thing, especially as well too, Jorge, just so you have a better understanding and context, is the essence of that group is to still remain unknown. Just note that so and so's wife happened to be a part of the Guardians, and it's not meant to be revealed. It's supposed to be confidential. True. But these two, she happens to find a friend, and I think this is what made this episode for me and why again season 2 is developing to be something a little bit more special. You know what I'm saying? It's you're getting a bit more emotionally involved now with certain characters where it's like, damn, like this is kind of hitting. Like at no point did I think throughout all of this like I would be feeling where Debbie's coming from, but it sucks for her. And for those that are watching that understands, it's like, yeah, you have a person that's been holding in all this stuff is just bad, it's just happening, and she literally has like nobody to talk to, and then the one person that you think you could talk to, they find out, because that essence of vulnerability.
So they find out that Omni-Man was her husband, and they tell her, like, look, don't call us no more. So she goes there for a little bit of support, and she gets kicked out of the group like immediately.
I know. How you go to a support group and get kicked out? How you get fired on your day off?
Go there for therapy, you get kicked the fuck out of therapy.
So the no judgment zone.
Also in the same context, also in this context, you're finding Mark's going to college for the very first time, and he literally goes there with a bunch of toys and shit that he had from when he was a kid. He's actually got like a doll called Seance Dog, which is almost like a parody of Doctor Strange, but he's like a fucking Boston Terrier. Right? Wah, wah, wah. So, there's a couple seconds.
There it is.
Mark and Amber finally get it on. She even asked. It's funny because she asked the questions that you would ask like somebody if they were like a superhero, but like, yo, you ain't got no super sperm that's gonna fucking murk me or anything, right? Like, if you lay on top of me, I ain't gonna get fucking destroyed, am I? Like, she's asking the good questions. Those are the good questions you should ask. They're like, you know what, Amber, you're right.
You're goddamn right.
You're absolutely right.
She said she was gonna be on time. I was like, oh yeah, all right, you're smart now.
But inevitably, after all of this, he ends up being visited by Seance Dog. Seance Dog like shows up at his door, and Mark, knowing that Seance Dog is like a fictional character that he's enjoyed since he was a kid, goes into like fucking like Merc mode. He's about to like take Seance Dog out. But it comes to mind that there was a projection, and the projection turned out to be this alien race from Thraxa. So little bit of history with Thraxa that we're going to see coming up. All right, so of course he is met by this character who is a Thraxan, and is being told that basically their planet is about to die because of a meteor shower. And we felt like that Mark was going to be the only way to be their help. And how this planet figured out of all these people to go get Mark was also very fucking suspicious. And even his friends were even telling him to go. He was like, nah, I can't really go. You know, I just started college and everything. And his friends are like, nah, man, you know, you got to really like get into this. Be this person, help them out. And then he goes. So turns out at the end of this issue, he is reunited with his dad. So Omni-Man has been living on Thraxa this entire time.
Damn.
And I already know where this next episode is going to go.
What do you think?
Well, for one, Omni-Man had to stick to his mission. His mission was to have a companion, breed at least one species of whatever planet he's at, and then use that person to conquer that planet. He did it again. This time, he got it on with a praying mantis bitch.
Oh no! Oh,
Leading double lives, goddamn.
Yeah, he got it on with. No, this is what they do. This is what they do. So, no, if he come to your planet and there ain't nobody around, best believe he's fucking.
So how do you have all that time to raise his son?
But this is the thing. He has to wait until they see themselves right to get into their powers. With humans, it takes a little bit longer because it does take till adolescence. Not necessarily the fact for every other alien race. Sometimes it happens immediately.
Yeah.
So when he goes to Thraxon, he is boning praying mantises. One by the name of Andressa. And at this point in the story, it's like, how long has Omni-Man been gone? So just going at putting this out there, he's going to have a child on that planet when Mark gets there. So he's got a brother.
How many brothers and sisters does Invincible have? God damn.
Well, in the comics, not that many. You know what I'm saying? Now, was Omni-Man like looking at planets, purging around and everything in order to get his his swerve on and everything? But you know, obviously, Omni-Man is a pansexual. He does not mind if you blind, crippled, or crazy, and if you're purple, insectian, anthropod, or whatnot, he gonna put it in you.
Deadpool.
Okay.
Straight up and down.
Woo.
Tentacles, the more the merrier, right?
Look, it is what it is. And this will be the introduction of a very young hero by the name of Kid Omni-Man.
Interesting.
Which will be coming up very soon. So
real quick, is what's the illustration like? Is it kind of like, oh, it's a human head, but then there's like two tentacles that go out like this?
Well, this is the thing.
Like, hey,
no. Viltrumite DNA actually overshadows this alien DNA. So like he looks humanoid, but he's like purple.
All right.
Yeah, he's a humanoid.
Okay. Yeah, he's humanoid, but he's like he's got a purple hue.
Yep. Purple hue, like Robin. He looks like Robin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if where I think this is going where it's going. Episode 4 that's going to come out next week is going to be nuts because the radar is already gone. Alan, of course, didn't tell anybody about the Viltrumite leaving his post. He didn't tell anybody about Mark. But the thing is, now the alert's up. So now they're checking everywhere. And they know where they dropped Omni-Man off. You know, they knew where he was going initially. And the thing is now, Omni-Man is now at another planet doing exactly what he was supposed to do when he was at Earth. Right. So it's almost like, you know, the Viltrumites, as we said in this title, they are going to start to band together. And note, they have their hierarchy. And when this hierarchy shows up with characters like Thrag, Conquest, Anissa, who we will not talk about, but when they start to arrive, you know, certain things are going to happen that are going to be awful in these next coming episodes.
Yeah.
You know. So hopefully in these next few episodes you get the return of like characters that you saw in season 1, like Battle Beast.
Oh yeah.
Which was dope and is also a very dope character. Viltrimites be like when the Thundercat symbol in the sky shows up. Yo, they show up and they show out.
Yeah.
Look, I think we were talking. We put it in our chat. We were talking about like the X-Men don't do one-on-ones. Like
No.
when somebody says
No, they jump.
when somebody says to me my X-Men, they coming to stomp you the fuck out.
Like hyenas.
Yeah. So like when you talk about the Thundercat signal and the 5 motherfuckers show up,
And lights up, you know.
every time it's on the loop, Thundercats on loop. You just get the ass whooped through that whole theme song. But at the end of the day, yo, I'm telling you, you gotta watch. All right, Jorge, now that you've already caught up with season 1,
Yep.
catch these 3 episodes of season 2.
Perfect.
Get ready for episode 4.
And we're doing this next week, right? We're doing the.
Oh, we're absolutely talking about this next week.
So, to the viewers out there, is going to be nothing but Invincible for the next couple weeks.
Yo, man, if where I think it's going is what it's going, episode 4 is going to be berserk.
Perfect.
Like the annihilation of Alan was like damn near sad because they put that fucking sad ass music to where he was getting his ass beat.
Yep.
And he's getting punched through the chest and shit. And he's fucking ripped his arm
gone.
I was like, this is the most calming. They're like, this is the calming music possible to getting your fucking body ripped apart.
Right.
This is sad.
Like when the Titanic went down, that band was just singing that song.
But bro, when I tell you, Mark and Omni-Man are like on a planet to themselves, and don't be surprised if a whole horde of fucking Viltrimites show up.
I mean, of course.
You know,
just like Frieza and the gang, you know, and his.
Bro, if the Ginyu Force and Frieza are coming, let them come.
Yeah.
Again, they go do the dance. They go do the dance.
Ginyu Force.
But I got a question. Basically, now it kind of brings this little theory about like the one that took off the oxygen tank. Is he the mole? Like, tell me, like, because I understand he's probably playing a big part, but he gave me mole vibes then. Now.
He should give you mole vibes. He was the one that actually told Alan that there's a mole. So how more inconspicuous would it be if the mole is telling you that there's a mole?
Bruh.
Yeah.
Or, could be his girlfriend.
Yeah.
She couldn't do nothing but sit. She couldn't do nothing but sit at the window with her hand over her mouth, like, oh. That was literally it.
She didn't do too much. She didn't call the intergalactic police. She didn't do nothing. She just,
who's she gonna call?
Help him.
Who's she calling?
Yeah, right.
There's nobody for her to call. That
oh my God, they're hitting me.
But at the end of the day, I feel like this season is shaping up, and I'm not even sure how many episodes they're going to do with this. Like, I think the last season was it 10 episodes?
Yeah, 10 episodes.
So it could be
40-minute episodes.
Huh?
40-minute episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I'm cool with that because Invincible as a comic book was so fast paced in the beginning anyway. Robert Kirkman constructed this in this way. Why episode 1 of Invincible looked that way? He thought the book was going to get canceled, after like 2 weeks on the shelves, and then people read that first issue and never stopped reading it, and it became a complete series. Like, for what it is, it was at one point it was the best selling comic book in the early 2000s. It's at its 20-year anniversary now.
Damn. It was even featured in Walking Dead. Remember the little kid with the eye patches reading that shit?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because Robert Kirkman also created The Walking Dead, and he also created Invincible.
Walking Dead.
Exactly,
Talk about the parallels of somebody having like a unique mind. Like I'm gonna create like almost like a Night of the Living Dead type storyline, and yet I'm gonna make a parody of superheroes with another one. So, he doesn't do a lot of Marvel DC stuff. That's not his thing. Like, he's been working for Image, working for Skybound for this long.
And he makes fun of it.
Yeah, and he does make fun of it. The last time he wrote like a Marvel DC thing, he did Ultimate X-Men, like probably 15 years ago, and he hated it. But he hated that he wrote the shit. Like he was there for like 4 issues, and he got the fuck up on out of there. But the thing is with him, and the thing is that I hope a lot of viewers and readers get out of like liking a show like this and liking a show like The Boys, is the fact that capes and cows aren't always for everybody.
Nope.
So comic books are a very wide genre. And the thing is, when you have other comic book companies out there from Image, TKO Presents, Band of Bards, Vault, and you'll come to the point where you understand that there's a lot of comic books, movies, adaptations that have come out that you don't even realize were fucking comic books. Like we talked about Road to Perdition with Tom Hanks. That's a comic book.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Road to Perdition, the crime novel. That's a comic book. History of Violence with Viggo Mortensen. Comic book. V for Vendetta, comic book.
Yeah, that's
comic book.
The Watchmen, yeah, but the storyline for Watchmen, that does not sound like a comic book. That sounds like an epic. The way that shit turns. And the thing is, the way that they created it for HBO made it even more compelling. But the thing is, there's a wide range of comic books. This is a reason why I read a lot of fucking like indie titles, because you can go anywhere you want with fucking comic books. You get the right illustration and the right writing, you're gonna come up with something that you absolutely love. It is what it is.
But how do you find them? Like, is there like a database out there? Say, I'm looking for this type of story, or you just have to stumble into a comic book shop and
well, this is the thing. In this day and age, it's actually a little bit more difficult. Before, you could walk into your local comic book shop and basically just scroll the entire day to find something that you like. If you don't like capes and cows or anything like that, and you just want to read a storyline that's obviously either horror, fantasy, sci-fi, so on and so forth, whatever your genre is. But nowadays, like you have digital databases like Global Comics. I wouldn't even say Comixology, because Comixology is now like obsolete at this point. So that's like digital. And then you have Kickstarter. Kickstarter is basically like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and Crowdfunder and Zoop are now like the hubs of indie comics, to where you're like looking at people that are like starting out creator-owned comic books their own way for the very first time in any genre that you can possibly find. Like Kickstarter does $30 million in comics just last year. They've gone up in indie comics as far as profits from basically the sales of comic books every single year that they've done comics.
So they've been labeled like a comic book venue, basically.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they actually have a whole section for indie creators, for people that want to create comic books and put them online and try to do campaigns and figure out if they want to sell them or not.
So wait, so they'd say, okay, this comic's good, this comic's bad. They
don't even do that.
They just put it up.
They're putting it up to fund it.
Yeah.
So like you're putting a comic book up to fund it. They put up a specific goal. Yeah. And they put it out there to try and fund that comic book. Like everything you see here that I got on my back wall is an indie comic. There's nothing on here from Marvel, DC, anything. It's literally people
that's your other wall.
Yeah. Yeah. My other wall. Yeah. I got some Marvel. I got some Silver Surfer up in here.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is.
We'll never see him on the big screen, I'm sure. So let's enjoy him.
Look, hey, if Fantastic Four comes out, I can more than possibly understand that they're going to go in some type of way. But that's what it is. I need these type of shits to come back out. I need Sideways comics to come out like this.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. That is a Todd McFarlane's X-Force meets Spider-Man.
That's right. Big muscles, little hands.
That's it. If you got Rob Liefeld making your comic books, you're gonna get some triangle feet straight up.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. So I want people to tune in for this show, because I feel like, what I'm saying, if you like this show, you will like shit outside of Marvel and DC. Not to say that Marvel and DC still don't do their thing, because I literally have a hardcover for House of X, Powers of X up here that will fucking blow your mind. But there is other good stories out there.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean?
I think what also makes this very, very intriguing as well, too, to kind of bring it back to Invincible, it's also like the celebrity aspect out of all of this. Like the voices on
everybody got picked up for this season are nuts.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like for those that haven't, that don't like Amazon does like an amazing job with the X-rays and stuff like that to see like who's playing who and all this types of stuff. So like like I said, the casting is amazing.
Casting is nuts.
So
Sterling K. Brown is Ansel Mort because we talked about that earlier. You got Stephen Yeun, who is more than likely our new Sentry in the MCU, who's doing Mark Grayson. You got fucking our own Jonah J. Jameson. What's his name? J.K. Simmons, who's doing Omni-Man. And was it
Sandra Oh is Debbie for
Sandra
those who
Oh's
watch
Debbie?
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
For those who watch
Yo.
Grey's Anatomy.
Bro.
You got some stars.
Yo, and Seth Rogen. You know,
Yep.
like, all these people have lended their voices to this incredible ass fucking show. So I feel like it should definitely be on the top of everybody's list.
Marshall Ali, is he on it too?
Yeah, he was in a couple episodes. He was in a couple episodes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Jay Farrow was in the last one as well too.
Yes, he was. Jay Farrow was in the last one. He's bulletproof.
That's right.
Yep.
That storyline is also fucking bizarre. But you just wait.
Damn.
All right. So I mean, for those of us, we recommend that everybody watch Invincible because we will continue to talk about it here on the Potty Nerds podcast. So for Ralph, myself, Jorge,
James, tell where for new viewers watching, tell where they can find us at.
Oh yeah. Look, man, you can check us out on the Party Nerds Instagram, the Party Nerds YouTube, the Party Nerds Twitch, and you can see it this and every single episode live on YouTube. But you can catch us live every single Monday.
Every Monday.
That's right.
All right. So
every
like I said,
Monday.
For myself, Ralphie, Jorge, Party Nerds, we are out.